line in the first chapter of the Gospel of John that says, "And the Word became flesh and dwelt among us, full of spirit and truth." It's one of the most beloved lines about Jesus, and it's usually spoken with great reverence and awe. What we probably don't realize is just how ironic and truly vulgar that line sounded in the ancient world, where there were all sorts of religious systems that believed gods went to earth all the time in bodily form, and they healed and they taught, and some of them even died and rose again. But the one thing that those gods never did was wear skin. They might be said to be in human form, appear in human form, but they never actually donned flesh, because really, how gross is that? With all the pooping and puking and burping and farting and scabbing and decaying and pain that having a fleshly body entails. I mean, only an idiot God, or maybe Christian Bale, would stoop that low to be associated with such yuck. And then, as their culminating act on earth, subject themselves to the most revolting perversion of faith, of flesh imaginable, crucifixion. I mean, no wonder the first artwork we have of Christianity is of an ass nailed to a cross. Now, it's actually, though, quite joyfully and liberating. It's quite joyful and liberating to think that there's a story out there that says about a God that sought and sought to be found in the middle of such, smelly, messy, fleshly, embarrassing, ugh. The place that's really the dirty places, the places where actually also most humor is found. This last New Year's Eve, which also doubled as our family's last Christmas, was the first Christmas Eve, New Year's holiday that I and my sisters, my siblings, and their kids all gathered at my parents' condo without my parents there, because now my father is also at the nursing home. So we were all there without them, and it was achingly haunted. It was so glaringly apparent to us as we were waiting on that December 31st for midnight to come and trying to fill it up with all sorts of things like watching TV and drinking a little wine and getting in minor fights, the typical family stuff. But it all had such deeper meaning as we were realizing we're going to have to start learning how to work together in new ways to care for our parents and their continued German stubbornness, and care for the things they're leaving behind, and learn how to live on our own, and find new ways of being together when their glue will no longer be available. It was sad and scary and depressing. And it was 11 o'clock, and there was still an hour to kill. What are we going to do? Well, my high school nieces said, well, we brought a game that we like to play, and it's called Cards Against Humanity. We should give it a try. So clearly you know how to play Cards Against Humanity. If you don't, you get there's an answer card to pick, and then everybody has several suggested answers, and then you pick which of your suggested answers might best fit or be the silliest answer to the question. You might win a point. It's a lot like Apples to Apples, but it's like the naughtiest, most suggestive questions and answers you can possibly be imagined. And I suppose you have to kind of be there, but it's just when you pick a card that's like, why am I sticky? And then you get answers like, edible underwear, or boogers, or sniffing glue, or altar boys. You just giggle. You just giggle silly and it's naughty. And after a couple of rounds of this and answering questions like, what am I giving up for Lent? Farting and walking away. Fiery poops. Being a dick to children. Altar boys. You're giggling, and then you get laughing even more as you see everybody around you gasping for air, they're giggling, and then you're afraid you're going to become incontinent, so you grab on to turn life to one another because you think that'll have you keep repeating in your pants. Gaping at one another, and there's this absolute delighted surprise as your older, completely deaf brother, who has always been this annoying, immature tease, and you hate to admit it, but it's always been really hard to get along with, starts talking about this answer card that he's received in the most incredible, straight man, perfect voice. What is eating pussy? I don't know what that is. Someone please tell me about eating pussy. We start to realize what an incredibly brilliant comedian our brother is. He has such talent. Oh my gosh, we're so thrilled he's part of our family. And we're so jealous of his wife has such a talented husband. And we're all filled with such happiness and love and trust and connectedness. And then it was midnight. So we toasted the new year, a whole new community, with a new whole level of love and trust, and excitement for whatever may come ahead. We were the beloved community that Jesus always talked about. And how did it come about? Well, it's too naughty and dirty to talk about anymore. But it did its job. The divine was present, and more powerfully than ever before. Here's to the next holiday.